quiet house at the edge of the village lived a boy named Elian. He lived with his elderly aunt, and because he was shy, he often felt like a ghost drifting through the hallways. His heart felt like a small, empty cup, waiting for something to fill it. He watched the other children play from his window, wishing he knew the secret to their laughter. Every evening, when the sky turned the color of a bruised plum, Elian would walk to a secret spot behind the village well. There, beneath the branches of a sweeping willow tree, he would kneel. He didn't ask for toys or for friends to play with. Instead, he closed his eyes and sent his whispers into the wind, thinking of everyone but himself. He thought first of Mrs. Gable, the oldest woman in the village. She lived alone and walked with a heavy, clicking cane, her face often pinched with pain. "Please," Elian whispered to the rising moon, "take the ache from her bones. Let her feel as light as a feather caught in a breeze." Then he thought of the forest animals. Winter was coming, and the air was turning sharp. He remembered seeing a small, silver-furred fox limping through the brush, looking for a meal in the frozen dirt. "Please guide the fox to a warm den," Elian prayed. "Let him find enough to eat so his belly is full and his paws stay warm." Finally, he thought of Farmer Thorn. The farmer's fields had been thirsty for weeks, and the corn was wilting under the sun. Elian had seen the farmer sitting by the road, his head in his hands. "Please send the clouds to gather," Elian murmured. "Let the rain dance on the soil so the farmer can smile again." Weeks passed, and the village began to change. One morning, Elian saw Mrs. Gable. She wasn't using her cane at all. She was hanging bright white sheets on her clothesline, humming a tune that sounded like a songbird. When she saw Elian, she waved an energetic hand. "Good morning, dear boy," she called out, her voice ringing clear. Later that day, as Elian walked near the woods, the silver fox appeared. It wasn't limping anymore. Its fur was thick and glossy, and it carried a large fallen apple in its mouth. The fox stopped and looked at Elian for a long moment, its tail giving a happy flick before it vanished into the golden leaves. By the time Elian reached the market, the smell of damp earth was in the air. Farmer Thorn was there, unloading crates of the tallest, greenest corn Elian had ever seen. The farmer saw Elian and let out a booming laugh. "The rain came just in time, Elian. The earth is happy again," he shouted, tossing Elian a shiny ear of corn. That evening, Elian returned to his willow tree. As he knelt, a young girl named Mira wandered over. She was new to the village and looked just as lonely as Elian used to be. "What are you doing?" she asked softly. Elian smiled and moved over to make room for her. "I'm talking to the world," he said. "Would you like to help me?" Elian realized then that the empty cup in his heart was gone. By wishing for the joy of others, he had filled his own soul with light. He wasn't a ghost in the village anymore. He was the heartbeat of it. He understood that when you pray for the happiness of others, you are never truly alone, for love always finds its way back home.